Okay, it's been a long time since I did an update video, and I have like 45 tractors to go through, so I'm just gonna be quick on each one. So we're gonna start off with this 77 16.6 single cylinder, original Tecumseh. Um, every tractor I have that has a under seat fuel tank has an electric fuel pump now. I can show you this super quick. Um, So for those of you that are kind of new for watching my videos, I am not a fan at all of those fuel pumps that run off the crankcase pressure because they're super unreliable. And it's like if you let the tractor sit for a little while, they don't really want to suck the gas up from the tank without priming it, and that takes a lot of time when you just want to run the thing. So this electric pump, I have that hooked to the part of the key switch that turns the lights on. So when you turn the key on, it starts pumping. So you got the line coming from the tank, it goes to a T, and you want the return line to be higher than the line that goes to the carburetor. So it's basically the carburetor is just like a normal gravity feed, and then once that's full, it'll start overflowing and then going back to a hole that you could either drill in the tank or the gas cap. So of course I did the same thing on this 20T. This has been running so much nicer since I did that. I also got a brand new set of front tires that match, or somewhat match, the back tires. So if you're looking at ordering tires for really anything, now is the time, because I've been ordering a bunch of brand new tires recently and they've all been super cheap off eBay. So these were like $20 and some change, free shipping each. So a total of like $42 free shipping. Really good deal, I think, considering that they are actually a name brand, which is D-Stone, and they're the same, like 650 wide, 16-inch tall, of course 8-inch wheel. That's about it on that. Of course, the 79 16T, 79 20T, 79 18T, 79 18T hydro. So the cool thing is, actually, it's kind of cool with this tractor and that 20T right there. They both came from the Fort Wayne, Indiana dealership. And I know somebody that has the sequential serial number to this hydro. So I thought that was kind of cool. Normally it's underneath that cover, but for this video I decided to open it up to show it to you. And then here is my miscellaneous pile of attachments and whatever. I'm not going to go through it because why? It looks like a complete mess, so sooner or later I need to clean that mess up. Here is, I guess, all four of my 73s. So this is a 73 SS16 that has a hydro swapped in it. So what I'm actually going to finish doing is finish turning it into a 1977 18 horsepower twin hydro. You can see the decal sitting on the hood for it. So that means the ones on the side of the hood are going to get peeled off, and I'm going to put those on it. 73 ST10, 73 ST16 with the original Tecumseh, 73 ST12 that has a different frame on it now. All the frames from 1973 to 75 are the same. It doesn't matter if it's an ST12, ST12, SS16. They're all the identical frame. Really, the only thing that's different is the floorboards, and if it has the side towers that are kind of like this, or they have the little cutout for like a starter generator, or they go straight up. And this frame was made into like an Onan style side frame. You can see where the cutout used to be. And then I have these other floorboards that I was going to swap onto this frame, but these floorboards are actually welded on, and I didn't feel like messing with it, so I just left it. So it's still a 73 ST12. It has a proper steering wheel, proper number plate and everything on it, so it's 100% 73. And the frame was actually a 73. It was just a different model. Now it's an ST12. I got the 77 18.6. This one has a homemade hood. I would really like to figure out the side vents on it that, you know, looks like those. where it has all the holes down the side. I took back off of a hood that someone cut the whole hood up to mount a different muffler on it. I'm not sure why people cut hoods. If you're repowering the tractor with something different, do something to the engine and not the hood, because the hoods you can't replace. If you're gonna cut some on the engine or reroute something different. Don't cut a hole in the side of the hood. Anyway, I took old hood that someone ruined, and I cut the back of the hood off, and I just screwed it to the back so that way I have the actual latches and it helps support it. Otherwise, that's about it on this. Fixed the front tires so they match now. Those are actually the old front tires that's off of that 20T. So I just took them off that and I put them on here. A 73 ST10 that has a custom 10XL hood and grill. I did get that Honda 5 horsepower or 5.5 horse going, and I decided to put that in here. If you have a custom, I'm not going to exactly say to recommend this because I haven't tried it long enough to say for sure. But one thing I've never really liked about customs is if you were to repower it, of course, if you just leave the factory engine in it that it comes with, you don't have a problem. But if you need to change the engine out, you have a problem almost always with getting the bolts lined up on the bottom of this frame, because there's all these frame parts that's in the way. Because the steering actually goes through the frame on these. So what I did is I just drilled holes down in the frame and I tapped some threads in there. So basically the frame is acting as the nut. So far it's working fine. These nuts right there are just acting as spacers because otherwise it would hit the brake on the pedal. That's about it on that. 1977 12.6. 68 Super 12 Special, 67 Super 12, 76 SS16, 70 Suburban 12, or 69 Suburban 12, 68 Super 12 with a 69 hood and grill, so I guess call it whatever you want. To me, the hood is kind of what makes the year what it is, but yet the frame with the steering wheel and floorboards says otherwise. So I guess call it whatever you want. I call it a 69 because of the hood. 68 Super 12 Hydro. 66 Suburban 10. 67 Suburban 10. 68 Suburban 12, 1970 Suburban 12. This one normally that covers on it just to keep it all nice, but because of this video I took it off. 68 Super 12 stick shift. 1969 Hydrotrack 12. 66 Suburban 12 with an 11 horsepower Tecumseh that starts every time with one pull. 70 Suburban 12, SS 12. 72 Suburban 15 that happens to have an 8 horsepower Briggs in it. 71 Suburban 12, and then I believe it's a 71. I'll have to double check to be sure. It's a 71 Suburban 14. Could be a 72, but I'm pretty sure it's a 71. And then back here, I picked up a case 444. Not going to say a whole lot or really anything about that because that's not really what this YouTube channel is about. But I do have a video that's going to be coming up soon about that. The loader tractor, I did, however, make the weight for the back. So that's 325 pounds of concrete, reinforced with some rebar. It has the piece of metal sticking up there that you can see with the clevis on it. It's bolted with bolts that's not the same length to the top of the hitch plate. And it has these two pieces of metal that bolt to the transmission mount. It has a set of rear tires that were a whole $97 free shipping off eBay. Those are of course brand new. and I filled those with fluid, so it makes it even heavier in the back. So now it'll lift easily around 600 pounds, and you can actually take really nice packed dirt and be able to just shove the bucket into the ground and easily rip it up. And it has plenty of traction. There's no need for duals. Most people that have loaders will tell you you need duals. You don't. You just put enough weight in the back and you don't need duals. I didn't want duals for two reasons. First reason is parking spots in this building, because as you can see, I'm kind of need all the space I can get. Second of all, when you're actually using it, trying to maneuver with those duals that's sticking way out, the chances of hitting something, especially the way I drive, you're probably going to hit something. So I didn't want to do that. It's not tippy at all with these tires without the duals, so I decided just to leave it as is. The SS18 is still sitting here with the blown up Briggs. That's about it on that. So looking for a new connecting rod and a new crankshaft for that. 74 Roper RT13. Then I've got a 76 Roper Hydro 13. Then a 77 Roper 18T. And then it's a 76 or 77 mini mower built by Roper that has the wrong hood and grill on it, and I verified that, which kind of sucks, but either way it's still really cool. I like it a lot. One of those things where this is the only one you'll ever see because they're that rare. I just think it's so cool. Those tires on it that I just realized I still have are for a 500,000 tractor I'm going to be doing. They're like mint condition. They look like brand new. Like, they're still super shiny. They don't have any cracks on them. They're perfect. The only thing is the rims have been painted. That's about it. The forklift is a 1975 ST16. I did all kinds of things on this. I put a cab on there, so then that way I have this contraption that I can put on the forks that makes this raise up about double that this forklift mast can. And then if something were to fall off, it won't crush the driver. At least that's the thought. So it has this cab on there now with a light. I raised the steering wheel up. As you can see, it has this piece of pipe that's welded on with the steering shaft extended with duct tape of all things to cover up the sharp part of the steering shaft on the steering wheel. That light comes on when you turn the key switch on. I thought that was kind of cool. I added a golf cart muffler on it so it's nice and quiet. Changed out the front axle with one off of an Aaron's garden tractor. This one is cast iron with 1-inch axles. And instead of having that triangle piece under the frame like they normally have, I welded together this tie rod that comes directly from the stock steering gears to the axle, and it steers actually pretty easy. I mean, it's definitely hard. Like, I can't steer it with one hand with the camera in my other hand, but once as you're moving just a little bit, it steers really nice. The only other thing I'd like to do with this is figure out something for a hood and to figure out something nicer for a weight, because this is like a complete mess of miscellaneous weights, scrap metal, and everything just kind of put on here. But it needs about 700 pounds on the front so that it can still have a lifting capacity of around 1,000 to 1,200. So that's about it on that. GT18 single cylinder. This is a 79. My plans is to restore this. And then all original 78 GT18 with the Onan. I'm going to restore that. 1980 GT199. And the reason that you know it's a 1980, because the model number of the 79 and 80s are the same. The only difference is the 80s have this different Onan in it than all the other ones do. This is a B48G, which are only found in the 80s, because 1980, that's the last year they were making these, and they ran out of the N52Ms, and they bought a bunch of N50 or B48Ms just to use up a bunch of miscellaneous parts they had before they closed the factory down. That's a story that I found online. That good luck trying to find it again. That's about it on that. 78 GT18 hydrodrive. Then of course we're back where we started with these. In the shop I have a 74 SS16 that I painted with the factory color yellow. You can see right here it was painted with the wrong color yellow, and it was really bothering me, so I painted it the proper color yellow like it would from the factory. I already put this data plate on there because I wanted something to do. There's the fenders, side panels, just a bunch of miscellaneous parts for it. Floorboards for it are down there. That's about it on that. I'm going to have a video of putting this together. It's going to have an ST16 hood, just because that's the one that I have. It's going to be an original paint hood with some rust on it, because my plan with this tractor is for it to be a really nice looking original one, since it's original looking yellow. And I have an original paint hood and dash, as well as some original paint front and rear tires that are right there. Miscellaneous other parts in this bucket for it. Of course, the 68 Super 12 Hydro project is on a pallet. Still need some more frame parts made and a hydro, and then that's ready for paint. And then of course some parts for a Roper RT16. So it's supposed to have 16 horsepower Briggs, but instead it's going to get a basically brand new 16 horsepower Kohler. It still has a cross hatching in the cylinder. The rod looks like brand new. Everything inside the engine looks like brand new. It has very little carbon buildup on the inside of the head, like it was just ran for 10 minutes and parked. So I thought that was kind of cool. Here's the rest of those 3-point hitches that I was going to make. I'm not sure if I said or not, but the other two are right here. So I made a bunch of these real big ones that are kind of like the ones that you normally see, and they just take too much to make. So here's a finished one of the ones I'm going to start to make. So it's kind of like the David Bradley ones, where it's just one piece instead of that long part, when it really don't need this extra part. The extra part right here, because it really doesn't do anything. They hold up fine without it. So on the table here you can see a pile of lift handles and a pile of these parts. So it just needs some holes drilled in those pieces of metal, and then I can put it together and have all kinds of 3-point hitches. Just a bunch of different transmissions. One of these is going to go in this tractor, and one of them is going to go in the red Roper. Haven't decided what's going to go in what. That's a newer one with splined axles. That's an older one that is got a lock differential and no brakes. This is a newer one. The hub for it's right there. It has a lock differential and it has brakes. So one of these is going to have to get a lock transmission, even though I don't really like those because they kind of suck. I'm thinking the red Roper is going to get that transmission with the splined hubs, because it's probably that's the one that it should have. And then this will probably get that transmission because that's the right one for a 74. And then that'll just continue being a spare. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I've got all kinds of more stuff coming up soon, so thanks for watching.